Wait, you started?
Yeah.
Okay, so this basically was my memory was jogged based off of the selection for the next anime that we're gonna do for the. I forget the name of the show we just did because I'm an idiot.
Reflux.
Reflux. So I was at a show, wrestling show, as I do every weekend because I'm trying to be a star. And after matches, basically all you're doing is just hanging around in the back, waiting for the show to end so you can help tear down, take the ring apart, put the chairs away, just like put everything away. And in that time frame, all you really do is just like shoot the shit, talk about other times you wrestled, talk about whatever bullshit comes to mind. It's just time to just hang out. Well, me and a group of dudes that I go to a lot of shows with, we're talking, and there's this dude there. He's super young, and sometimes I forget how young he is. He's like 17.
Oh, wow.
So he missed everything. He's like years behind the rest of us as far as any kind of reference of pop culture or life or existence.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. Go ahead.
I'm thinking of every cultural event in my life, and I can't fucking... Like, all of them were before he was born. Like, so all of the major tentpole events. Like...
He was born in 2003, which means he doesn't know about anything that happened before 2009, basically, when he started to be aware of his surroundings.
Yep.
So, what happened? I don't remember what started it. I said something, and he was like, I don't know what that is. And we just all just stared at each other, and we all just started questioning him on things. Like, Carlos, do you know what MySpace is?
Oh, fuck.
Do you know, do you know what this is? Do you know what that is? And it just went around for like, we spent like 2 hours just doing that. It was the best.
Was it though?
It was.
You were basically talking about,
look
how old we are,
like
young person.
Like, even my younger brother, like, he was born in 99, but like, you take that 4 years, that 4 years matters. Being born in 2003. It's like when I go and substitute for like middle schoolers, and they're like, "Hey, do you know what TikTok is?"
Yeah, I thought about that when we were having this conversation, because it was like, oh my god, now I know how Zero felt when those kids were around him.
And I'm just, I can feel myself rapidly aging and turning to dust, like, even though I'm still very young.
It sucked, but it was awesome because he didn't know anything, and it wasn't just me doing it. It was like everybody was getting in on it by that point. Like, even dudes that weren't originally a part of the conversation heard what we were talking about and just jumped in. It became just a thing that everyone was involved in for the rest of the night. It was the best.
There's stuff in the 90s that I missed, but I've still gone back and really I have a lot of knowledge of the 90s, even though I was barely alive for most of it.
See, he didn't go back and check. He didn't do this until right the end of that moment, because it got to the point where he started pulling out his phone and searching shit. Like, do you know what AOL is, Carlos? And he was like, no. And he's like,
I had a kid's AOL account.
I did too.
They were like, yeah, you remember when you buy like any kind of magazine whatsoever and you get that fucking disc for AOL? It's like, yeah. He didn't know
what a magazine was.
Oh, he knows what magazine.
Oh gosh, does he not know about trial discs for games?
Oh, I didn't even bring that up. That
demo discs and shit.
Those were my jam.
Demo discs, like, oh my gosh, I love those. But there are kids today who never even knew those existed.
Yeah, you just gotta fucking buy the demo. They don't even have. Do they even have demos anymore on PlayStation Network or whatever?
If they have a demo, you just download the demo.
God, fucking Jam Pack on PlayStation. It's the best.
Those are dead. Those are so dead.
You know how much I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2? Just that one fucking France. Just that one level in France forever.
I got first exposed to Klonoa from the demo disc.
The competition levels were the worst part.
It was the only one they had on it, and I played the shit out of it because it was all I had till I actually got the game.
I can't really judge. I'm feeling bad about cassette tapes right now. Like, records are a thing. Like, you know, they're still a thing because, like, aficionados like, oh, the sound is warmer and all that hipster shit. But cassette tapes? No one's nostalgic for cassette tapes.
Yeah, I gotta rewind this shit. It's great.
Let's be real here. CDs just beat the living snot out of cassette tapes.
You mean you don't enjoy manually setting it because your thing doesn't work?
I had Eiffel 65's album on cassette tapes. I was very into them as a child.
That's the most 90s thing I've heard so far.
No, the most 90 things you've heard is fucking... They had a song on that album about fucking PlayStation, which was just them listing fucking PlayStation games by title.
Great.
And it had a breakdown in the middle, which was just him doing fucking Tekken fighting sound effects.
Oh my god, I need to find this song now. It's gonna make me feel so good.
It's called My Console by Eiffel 65. Enjoy.
We're talking, like, I was talking about my dad with this the other day when I got my first, my PlayStation 1, that had to screw into the TV. Like, it was so complicated to try to set up this little PlayStation 1.
So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that.
I miss the 90s so much right now.
It was the best of times for me.
On the other hand, I have all of the porn in the world at my fingertips, so, you know, it swings and roundabouts, you know how it goes. So.
Yeah,
on the other hand, we now just have HDMI cords. Aren't those great?
I can't even buy a standard def TV anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think they sell those.
They don't. Dude, I have two in my house. I have two big screen TVs from the olden days in my house.
It just reminds me of the people who play Melee and they have to have the very specific TV so they can actually play Melee, and it's just like those TVs are not made anymore.
Like, there was one of those old CRT TVs just sitting outside of my flat, like just shoved in a corner behind my bins. And I saw it and was like, that TV is so old. Just because I couldn't see anything, my eyes, I couldn't see anything else about it. It was just a CRT TV, and I was like, that TV, it must be so old. It has some sort of disease in it. Not like it just contains it and it's just there inside the TV, but the TV specifically is infected with a disease because it's so old.
What a strange thought to have.
It was a very strange thought to have, but yeah. I didn't touch it for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah. It's just some random discarded TV. That's kind of disgusting.
I have these two TVs in my house, and for some reason my dad gave them to me, and I don't want them, but they're gigantic and they're hard to move. God, they're fucking heavy. But
okay, I can understand that. Probably the best part of having kids is when they move out and you can just dump all of your unused crap on them.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I got my couches.
It's like a cleaning out sale.
But sometimes I just go in the room that they're in and just stare at them for a minute. Like, God, in 98, you were the height of luxury.
And then the kids thank you for taking them. For letting you take them.
The curse is on you now.
It is. Carrying those things out is going to be a struggle. That is the heaviest shit in my house, and I have weights in the basement. I have 6 45 plates in the basement. I would rather pick all of those up at the same time and carry them than lift this fucking TV. And I have 2 of them.
You realize you have giant-ass TVs in your house that you could easily smash up for funsies.
Yeah?
Why have you not done this?
Because then I gotta clean it up.
That's...
I'm not just wanton destruction, Casey.
Put
There's
like a top down or something.
There's an intellect behind it. Well, yeah, but then I gotta fucking lift a jagged, fucked up TV, and I don't do that. I gotta put it out on the curb.
And then smash it. And then it's the city's problem.
I don't know if that's how that works, but I like the way you think.
Wasn't there like this YouTube thing or show that was about smashing things?
Yes. There have been several of those.
I know, but there's this very specific one that's like on the fringe of my memory. Like,
did it have Andrew WK in it?
I don't know who was in it.
Was it the slow-mo guys?
Oh gosh. The person who did it, I think, is no longer even on YouTube. I don't know, or if they are, they're not doing it anymore.
I also miss Andrew WK. No one even knows who that is.
No.
Does anybody remember there used to be this, back when TV was still actually, important. There was a show on it, and it was a channel. It was like G4, I think, or something.
Yes, that was a thing.
Yeah, G4.
Yeah, so they had like X Play and Attack of the Show.
Yeah.
That's no longer a thing.
No. I'd be kind of surprised if it was.
But like times, man.
Like a few years ago, I was watching like some E3 stuff, and like one of the hosts from X Play was there, and I was just like, "Oh, they're still alive."
Yeah, Adam Sessler he's still in the business.
Yeah, Adam Sessler is, very much still in the business, and it's like that's good for them.
Yeah, he is jaded as shit, though.
Why wouldn't he be? Like,
no, it makes sense. I mean, I don't blame him for being that way.
It's like I can look at almost anyone in entertainment or video games, and they're jaded or fucking angry, bitter people, and I understand why you're like that.
We're gonna do video game stuff on TV. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be successful. It's gonna bring gaming to the mainstream. Fuck you. We got I don't know, Rooster Teeth's doing shit. Well, shut up about your Rooster Teeth. They don't do actual video games. They do shit like stupid comedy spoofs and shit. We do actual video games with video games. Giant Bomb does some stuff, but shut up. We can.
X-Play, the program known for its reviews and comedy skits.
It's the way of the future is gaming on TV. Well, YouTube gaming is a thing that's just.
Anyway.
X-Play actually had quite a few seasons, and it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
A lot of Attack of the Show, but
I would catch some Attack of the Show, but most it was just X-Play. And I remember young me, before I had free reign of the internet, was just like, I need to find out information on all the new video games. So let me subscribe to these magazines of Nintendo Power, which is now dead. But they have a podcast now, instead of an actual magazine, which I guess is the way of the future. Yeah. I say as we're on a podcast right now.
I don't know about you guys, but G4 was on like half a channon, so like half the time it would be fuzzy Russian or something, and the other
it was mostly reruns of things, and there was, I don't know any fuzzy Russian, but yeah. It was one of my only sources of getting video game news about.
I have some unfortunate news for you, Slicer. It was all fuzzy Russian. They have been programming you for a long time.
Is X-Play real?
But it's important to know that I spent 5 years living in a small town in Arkansas, where I had access to very little in terms of outside world stuff.
Media content.
Yes. So it was either go to Blockbuster get your Nintendo Power magazine.
Oh, fuck Blockbuster.
Or watch X-Play.
Say it again. Say Blockbuster again.
Blockbuster.
Fuck yeah.
Or Hollywood Video was there.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry, someone's banging upstairs.
God damn.
Is it really loud, or because I can mute myself?
A little bit, but it's fine. It's like there's still a rental shop near me, like 5 minutes down the road. I don't know what they do anymore, but the facade is still there.
Sell drugs.
Probably.
There was like a rental shop actually nearby the Best Buy. That's no longer there, I think, for obvious reasons. But gosh,
I know we have a family video around here in Iowa City. The place is big enough that they can actually support a business, because a lot of families are just like, hey, I want to buy like 5 movies and I want to rent them. So for $20 they'll have family movie nights for a couple weeks. So there's still business there, but yeah, they're definitely they're a rare entity.
Yeah, places where the internet is not amazing is probably the only places they can still survive.
So I remember, like, as things were dying, I had friends who would be like, "Oh, this person has GameFly."
Oh shit!
They just get the games they want mailed to them. And now, if I want to rent a game, there's this thing called Redbox. You just go down to your convenience store, go to a Redbox, beep, boop, beep, got your disc. Okay, return that in whenever. In a day or however long you choose. And it's just like, oh no, those entire stores have been invalidated.
I wonder how old the people listening to this are.
Well, we know 90% of them, so in their 20s, mostly. There's one, like, 19-year-old, I think.
I hope that this podcast is like a warm hug to some of you.
Oh.
Incidentally, was it the channel about crushing crunchy and soft things by various means?
No. Gosh. I'll find it.
You have fun with that. As an aside, hello everybody and welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast.
I was like 20 minutes in.
Episode whatever it is. 287.
Oh man.
I totally thought that through and didn't look it up. That's how I do that. I'm Casey. How's it going? I'm the oldest person here. I remember it all and feel sad for what I've lost. That is my role. That is my curse. With me, we have Kenji is here.
Hi, I'm Kenji618, the one who started this whole tangent, and the second oldest person here.
And we have Slicer. I feel like we should do this in age order now, apparently. Is that Slicer? Slicer is old and has fallen asleep as old people tend to.
Someone's vacuuming upstairs. I'm being considerate, you ass. But no, I'm going to make the controversial statement that the 90s were not great, and I will stick by that statement.
You're a lying sack of shit that doesn't know anything. Zero's here.
My grandchildren will not know what a controller is.
I don't think that's ever going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm worried. Video games have appeared and gone to this point in such a small amount of time.
The day where you have to be athletic to play video games, it's over.
Have you considered working for Microsoft? I am sure they would love your pitch for a new generation of Kinect. They would be very interested.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying the future is scary. I don't know what's going to be happening. For all I know, when I'm like 80 years old, there's just gonna be like, oh, just plug your brain into the machine, Matrix.
I mean,
and it's like, oh no.
Supposedly, this is the last decade before the singularity, before some nebulous thing happens that changes everything in life as we know it. So, look forward to that in 2029.
Look, at least as long as the future has robot waifus, we're fine.
I think that's the opposite of that, actually. I think we're not fine when robo waifus show up. I think that's the beginning of the end times.
I think when robot waifus show up, they're fine. They're fine.
Thanks for that.
90s.
Radical.
Tubular.
Yes.
I was born in a time of great, I was born in a time of great change in the world. So either we get to robot waifus or we kill each other in World War III.
I mean, why not both?
That could be both.
Robot waifus fighting World War III.
That's an anime.
That's several anime.
That's many anime, yes.
Oh.
I guess you will be mine. Not really. I fucking hate Igus, but she was the first robot waifu that I could think of. 2B. There we go. That's a good one.
Labras is pretty great. With a bit of the Bostonian accent.
What were we talking about?
We're doing a podcast, apparently.
What have we been doing for the past week? Fucking Kenshi, aside from hazing the young guy for being young and ignorant of the world around him and not knowing what the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is.
I didn't even bring that up. I didn't even bring up TV shows. That's how.
No.
This conversation went 2 hours. We didn't even talk about TV shows. Fuck.
Do you know about Full House?
We didn't even bring that shit up. That's for next time.
Here's how you shorthand that conversation. Do you know about TV shows? The fuck are TV shows? What's a TV? And that's how the conversation starts and ends.
You mean the monitor for my computer?
You mean my phone?
That's for next time. He's gonna.
I watch Twitch on that.
He's gonna get it next time. You just fucked his life up. All right. So yeah, at this show that I hazed this kid on, not really hazing. He didn't really do anything. We just busted his balls for a bit.
Interrogated.
Yeah, basically. It was a good time. So I went there just to hang out because, like I said, a bunch of people I knew were wrestling on it. I didn't even plan on wrestling. I ended up wrestling, as they do sometimes. Because, like, on most indie shows, the promoter will have an idea of what he wants. But in order to make it happen, dudes got to show up. And when dudes don't show up, that leaves a hole in a match that needs to be fixed. Unfortunately, I was there. And I had my gear in my car because that's what you do when you're a wrestler. If you ever go anywhere with wrestling, no matter where it is, bring your shit. Because you might get to wrestle. And I did.
I mean, that's fair, actually. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. It's like one of the things they always tell you when you're like training. It's like, yeah, if you ever go anywhere, like, bring your shit. Because you might get a chance to wrestle.
Do you just like check in with management there just so they know you're on call essentially? Or?
Yep. First thing you do when you get anywhere in wrestling is you get to the show, you introduce yourself to everybody, whether they know you or not. Like even if you've met someone like 16 times already, you go up to them, you shake their hand, just to basically let them know, hey, I'm here, and if you need me, this is what I look like. I'm awesome. I know a bunch of dudes here who can vouch for me. So if you need me, I'll be chilling somewhere. Which is basically what happened.
That's pretty cool.
Enough.
Yeah.
Networking.
Yep.
Ring working.
So yeah, that was Saturday.
That's about the attention that joke needed to get. That's fair.
Yeah, I was not selling it.
Yeah.
I was not going to sell that.
That's fair.
For this coming week, well, today, apparently, I don't know if you guys have PlayStation Plus or whatever, but the Uncharted trilogy is free if you have PlayStation Plus.
Oh, I just already own that. I bought it. Then never wound up playing it.
I did not because I played them all in the past. But I would like to have them all on my PlayStation 4. So they're mine now. They're on the system, and I'm going to play them very soon. Not while we're doing this, because I need to focus and take it all in.
And play Grand Theft Auto.
Well, I don't have to focus on Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm not paying attention at all. Like, I'm just making money.
That's what I thought. Yep.
Dude, I don't have to pay attention to that game. You know how mindless this is?
You keep telling us, and yet you're playing it.
Yeah, because it's amusing my subconscious brain. I don't have to pay attention. It's just like, ooh, car go fast. Ooh, gun go off. Ooh, explosion happen. That guy die.
Bright lights.
Yeah.
City lights.
Stop singing.
I wasn't singing. Promise.
This week is very important because this week is, for wrestling fans who, all three of you that actually listen to this show, it's the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that thing that all wrestlers probably actually hate, from my understanding of everything you've actually said to me about wrestling.
Yeah. WWE is holding the actual Royal Rumble. So I'm going to play my drinking game again. I'm going to die. And it's going to be great. I might live stream it.
Well, I can't tell if we have a lot of wrestling fans on our Discord or if we have a lot of Kenshi fans.
We definitely have a lot of Kenshi fans.
Because like I've tuned into a couple of your shows and I'm not really into wrestling. It's just because you're there and you make it entertaining. Mostly watching you get your ass.
Yeah, you like watching me get yeah. Well, that's the most I can hope for.
You got ridden in almost every match I saw you in.
Yeah, like literally.
The ones with Cool J in them.
That's what I said. You fought him a lot.
Yeah, I did. I've wrestled him on shows you haven't seen. Imagine that. You have to imagine that. You've seen it like 30 times. Yeah, I'm gonna just hang out and get smashed. Fuck you. You haven't heard that song.
It was a #1 single for like 80 weeks. I think everyone has heard that song a lot. Don't worry about it.
Like
I never beat Red Dead. I never beat Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Is that what that reminded you of?
Non sequitur a little bit, but okay.
Old Town Road.
Dude, Old Town Road is like the herald of my demise.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, for the rest of my days, whenever I hear that song, I'm going to imagine being flat on my back, staring up at lights.
Not the memory I'm going to associate with it. You were in a different position for that
of
memory.
Old Town Road.
Huh?
Sometimes when you're subbing, like, the kid while they're working, they'll just start singing Old Town Road to themselves. And I'm just like, hey.
It's catchy.
Now that dude will never do anything else. That song is his greatest gift and his greatest curse.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else other than what I told you. I kind of blew my wad on the freaking old school 90s talk.
Congrats to Billy Ray Cyrus for being the rare 2-hit wonder. No, not 2-hit wonder. 1-hit wonder, but twice. That's how that works.
A hit and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of reasons to feel sorry for Billy Ray Cyrus. It's just... Oof. Anyway. Zero, how's your week been?
So, I went and I saw 1917, the movie, the other day.
I was gonna see that. Didn't get to.
So, that is a really good movie.
What movie was that again?
Sweet, okay.
1917. The World War I movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's a World War I movie. Basic premise is look, the Germans withdrew, but we have aerials from airplanes and everything to tell us that this is a trap, but our communication lines have been cut. So you have to go deliver this message to the front to save the lives of 1,600 men, including your brother. So go deliver that message before noon tomorrow. And the movie is shot with one continuous shot. It is so, like, well made. I can't imagine the amount of effort that went into trying to make this movie the way it is.
Does it gain anything from that one continuous shot thing?
Yes. It really feels like you're actually there, and I noticed the difference, and it was, the way they use it, it's great. I personally just love the cinematography in it. And I found myself getting very invested in the characters.
Okay.
So, I personally love that movie. My parents went to go see it with my brother, but I was at work, so they went to see it again with me. And they still liked it after a second viewing.
Sweet.
So it holds up.
I need to see that movie. I also need to see Bad Boys because I'm black.
That's fair. But
that movie series has also just been stupid fun. So
yeah, it was a good movie.
To see
Bad Boys. We went. We rewatched the first one recently. I think we'll go see probably Bad Boys 3. Maybe not this week, obviously, but at some point in the future. Might just be a rent it type thing through the interwebs or whatever service you have.
Yeah.
I also have been playing a lot of a game that I got for Christmas, which is Code Vein.
Yeah, I heard good things about that.
So, Code Vein, people have described it as anime Dark Souls.
That is literally the description I was about to say before I decided, just let him run with it. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Unlike Dark Souls, it doesn't have a ton of different types of weapons. Like, there's like 6 or 7 different types of weapons, and then various movesets based around that. But it does have skills. And so it kind of has like a job system. You find this class or this job. You max out your proficiency with those skills by killing enemies using that job. Then those skills can be carried over to other jobs. So you can kind of create your perfect move list. So you have things like, say, passives that will boost your stats, or resistances, kind of like rings. You have your active abilities, which can be spells to special attack moves. Like, there's one where you teleport to the enemy and then you do like 3 hits. There's another one that's like a really strong, like 6-hit combo, but obviously you can get caught in the middle of that and hit out of it, so you got to be careful when you use it and stuff like that.
So you're saying there are skills in relation to jobs?
Well, the classes.
So these skills come from these jobs or these classes.
So would
that
you say that you have skills that pay the bills?
I knew that's where this is going. Yeah.
But if you gather a certain amount of like this particular item, you can just max out the proficiency for that skill rather than having to switch to that class to use it. Until you actually max it out by killing enemies with it. So that's really nice. It has a hub area, which is your hangout. This game is very edgy in terms of its music choices and aesthetics. But it's also very fun. I've had a few glitches, but they tend to be more funny than anything else. I haven't really had any major things, but the game itself, so like Dark Souls, obviously, if you screw up and don't read your opponent properly, it can really screw you over. Unlike Dark Souls, with the proper skills, you can really increase your advantage over a particular encounter, which is good because a lot of these enemies have very terrifying moves.
I feel like the margin for error in this game is a lot less than Dark Souls. Like, you'll just die at the pretty small fuck up once.
It took me a while before I had my first death.
So maybe a bit closer to Ninja Gaiden than...
I cleared the entire first area without dying. And what helps is...
I should say it's the bosses that are the ones that will wreck you. The enemies you can...
The bosses, are careful, can really screw you up. But I've been having a fairly easy time because... I say fairly easy because it's not kicking my butt as hard as, obviously, Dark Souls, but I've also have a lot of experience in playing Dark Souls and Bloodborne and everything, so that's really coming into play. You have party members that you can bring with you into battle. You can also team up online. I haven't done that once. I've been mainly using the party members.
Fuck other people.
Well, the party members you get are so good. They do actual damage. Like, they're essentially players.
And depending on which one you bring, it can make your boss experience very different. Because one is, he uses two-handed weapons. This one uses a combination of one-handed weapons and magic. Very fast and agile. This one uses range attacks. This one has support abilities that just make you stronger. And if you go down, they can spend some of their life, like each one of these characters, by the way, they can spend some of their life to share it with you to bring you back up if you go down, as long as they have life.
If they're fast enough. That ability is like a bolt that they fire at you.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're in the middle of combo or taking damage at the time and it doesn't land right. So it's not a
more often than not, it tends to work.
Yeah.
But sometimes while trying to heal you, they'll just die. You can also share your life with them to heal them, but why would you? See, if they die, my run isn't over. If I die, my run is over, so...
It depends on how much you rely on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, they do a lot of damage. Like, they're very useful to bring along.
Yeah, and you can play, like, a ranged build.
Yeah.
And
so if you backline, you can just have them, soak up damage.
Yeah, you can take support skills and just buff your partner. That's a valid strategy.
And that's kind of a cool possibility in a Souls game, that you are actually the support. Or even just ranged.
It has a ton of story. There's cutscenes. Whenever you get a new blood code, or as I was calling them, jobs, sometimes they're broken and you have to pick up pieces of them. And when you restore them, you get to see memories of that person. And see how they got to where they were, how they died, or if they're still alive, kind of their own sort of story. An aspect of the story that you can kind of get to know more about the character and their relationships with other characters, which I really like. A lot of voice acting, a lot of writing in this.
That is kind of where part of the edginess comes in, though. There's a lot of really tragic backstories.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's a lot of really, like, this person I thought was awful was actually... They were doing their best. They were helping me out. I just didn't see things from their perspective. Which I like. It is very fun to play.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, there was something about that game that just drove me away, and it's the iframes. There's no iframes in the dot.
Yes, there are.
Oh, well, they don't work very well.
They've been working well for me.
Oh.
I mean, maybe there was a patch or something for I don't know. But
I don't know. All I know is I try to dodge things and it never works.
Maybe
I was dodging.
I mean, it could be that. I mean, I It's not like I'm a master at Souls games or anything. I've just played a lot of them.
I built my entire kit around dodging, so when I dodge, I get more of this thing called focus, which allows me to enter into a focus state, which I think allows me to have some more kind of stat boosts and be able to launch enemies, so I can do a attack that increases my amount of ichor, which you use as your sort of your resource for skills. It's good. It was overwhelming at first because it's all these different buttons, and then I didn't realize that you have to hold R1 to then get more moves with your weapon, with like square and triangle. But yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. I've made it past a lot of bosses, including the freaking Hatsune Miku with the spear.
Is that the one in like the sewers?
In the Howling Pits, yes.
Yeah, the fog.
Where it's just like, oh yes, I'm going to dash at you with the spear, and if you get hit by this, you're likely to die.
That's how spears work, bruh.
I know. And
That one certainly worked like that.
And I've made it much farther past that, and I've been enjoying it. I got this ability where basically I regenerate damage as I take it, like really fast.
All right, Kirito.
It's not perfect. Obviously, it won't regenerate all the damage. It will regenerate most of it, so I can just go ham while I'm regenerating. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I like the characters.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Also, I keep like looking up for information on the wiki, and it's just like 404 page not found. I'm like, oh, this game didn't do that well, did it?
It did okay, to my knowledge. Not
Yeah.
amazing, but
Terrible.
enough that it would have a decent wiki that has probably, I don't know, maybe it got vandalized or something.
The character creator is great. Love the character creator.
Wanna take my horse to the old town road.
And when you get a piece of like an outfit, you can look into the shop and there'll be different colored variations of that outfit, and you're like, cool, I'm gonna get the white one because that one looks very snazzy.
See, that's a cool idea, except for if you've already put a lot of resources into upgrading the one that you have that you don't really like the color of. But yeah, they should have just sold weapon dye or armor dye.
I mean, I found the one I wanted early on, and those resources are fairly easy to come by, and you can buy them in the shop.
Eventually, it's kind of the same as Dark Souls 2, where you'll eventually reach a point where you can just buy upgraded material, but for a while it's limited.
Early on, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference between pieces of armor, I find. Just find what we want early on and stick with it. But you can also level up other things, because one thing I actually really like about the game is you can find weapons and armor, and they're already fully upgraded to what you should have.
I was not aware of that, actually.
Yeah, I found this weapon. It's like, oh, this is a +5 already. Cool, I can use this immediately if I want. Or, oh, whoa, this armor is a +6. Nice. And stuff like that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Getting
good game.
Gritty. Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from all of that, and me still substituting.
Hey, Zero.
Yeah.
You know who's in Smash now?
Oh, yes. I almost forgot. So, Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is now in Smash.
Wow. Why?
That was pretty much everyone's reaction. Yep.
Byleth, their special moves are the artifacts from all the different houses. So they have a sword, a spear, an axe, and a bow.
Cool.
Basically the living weapon triangle with a bow.
So are they like the representative from that game then? Essentially,
Yes.
they're kind of get a little bit of everything from it.
Yes, with the male and female variation. And
also,
they have their own stage.
Interesting that, you know, the weapon triangle, even though that's the game where they basically don't have the weapon triangle.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's fine. I also really like how the spear is like a tip like Marth's, but has longer range. So the spear beats the sword, but then the axe loses to a sword when it's because of counter. So they worked it in. It works mechanically as a weapon triangle.
Yep. They thought a bunch about this character, and it's all going to be great and stuff, and everyone's happy.
I have no problem with this. Like other people were upset about, oh man, a Fire Emblem character. It's like Three Houses was great. I like Three Houses a lot.
Well, yeah, but again, we already have Fire Emblem characters.
We're getting 6 more characters on the next DLC pack. It's fine.
But we're not getting those now.
Hang on. Moth, Ike, Crom, Lucina, protagonist for Awakening, protagonist for fucking the other one, Byleth. What's 7?
We have this. We have about like Pokemon has 8 characters.
Debatably.
Those are all different enough that I feel that's completely okay. Like, I actually had to think about that one for a second. All the Fire Emblem characters are very similar.
Yeah, they're all dudes and all ladies with swords.
There are... You have Robin, who I really like being the magic user. Very different.
You know what would be great? A Fire Emblem character with an axe. They don't get enough representation. Just put fucking Vike in there. From Awakening. That's a deep cut. I apologize for that. But
no, you gotta put Hector in for the original Axe Lord. That's a deeper cut.
But yeah, they were like, hey, this like Reggie, big man Reggie, other epithets, was like, yeah, they all gonna be characters from series that have never been in Smash before. And, yeah.
Again, like, this is coinciding with the announcement of the story DLC for Three Houses.
I look forward to the first character being Edelgard. In fairness, that would be an axe character.
Having seen Byleth's moveset, think it's different enough to be fine. And it looks fun to use. Her moveset looks really fun to use. So I'm fine with that. I don't think I have any reason to get upset about a character in a video game.
Yeah.
Because it's just a character in a video game, and there's 6 more characters coming anyways.
I just think it's funny.
Oh, it's funny. People were really upset about it online. It's like, how dare you? It's like
a lot of Melee, or I mean, a lot of Smash anyway. So I don't really care.
But it's just like they announced Banjo. You know, they announced freaking a Dragon Quest character, which, having played Dragon Quest 11, I'm now happy he's in there a lot.
Yeah, like I don't think it's right for people to be like, oh, how dare you, this betrayal, you fucking assholes, you're absolutely terrible. I think it's just worth, you assholes.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That was not cool. Fucking trolls.
That is the best way to put it, yeah.
And I feel like Byleth would have come earlier, but Sakurai said that he has to beat the game before he wants to put the character in. And Three Houses is huge, with all the different routes and everything. So, I guess fair point as to whether or not Byleth should be in there. At this point, it's just tradition for Fire Emblem. Like, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, they announced this character after they announced the new pack. So I would have said, hey, maybe put it in the second pack. Just have it lead off the second pack so it can be like, hey, we don't have that thing that Reggie said hanging over it anymore. We can just have whatever in this one and let it be anything.
Richie no longer works at Nintendo.
He doesn't, but that doesn't mean his word doesn't count, because they had planned this. And at some point, something got shifted around. And someone wanted to capitalize on the popularity of Three Houses. So, if they had just had whatever character was going to be the last character, that probably would have... it wouldn't have been that bad. If the first character of the second pack was Byleth, no one would have cared. It would have been fine.
You know what I really want? More Legend of Zelda characters that are not just Link.
Yeah, I mean, they got Sheik in there. They got Zelda.
We got Sheik, Zelda, Ganon, and then 3 Links.
I mean, I want to agree, but I've played Hyrule Warriors, and every character is shit. Except for Link.
I'm not referring to, like, obviously, like, Hyrule Warriors, because, like, obviously for a while people were saying Skull Kid, but I'm thinking, like, characters like Vatai, who is, or Vati, however you want to say it, who is a character that is more of the 4 swords thing, is in multiple games. That could work. Wind Mage, sure. Something that's not just another version of Link would be nice.
Just not another dude with a sword, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose you could put like a Goron in there, but then you just get another heavy character.
I don't want a Goron in there. I want, like, an actual character. I mean, they have... Breath of the Wild has these champions. I'm like, I'd be fine with one of those. Something that is new. It is a series that is, like, right now one of Nintendo's biggest properties. And
I mean, considering the bird one is basically
Falco. Yes, I know.
They could just put a skin on Falco.
I mean, they do that. That's what Echo Fighters are.
No, I don't mean make an Echo Fighter. I mean, just he's an alternate skin. That's it.
Anyway, I am fine with Byleth being in there. Could other characters have been in that spot? Yeah. Would other characters be in that spot? No, because they decided not to.
I mean, we're allowed to say it's kind of a shitty decision.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying you're not allowed. I'm just saying, for me personally, it's okay.
To mitigate some of the outrage, have they released any information about who any of the 6 are?
Nope.
No.
Oh, I feel like that's a bit of a misstep, but sure.
Nintendo doesn't mitigate outrage. They just kind of do their own thing.
Which makes them pretty much the only company that does it right. Which is just fucking sit it out, just wait for it to blow over, because it will.
It's better than token effort, I suppose.
Pride and accomplishment.
Yeah.
They're just like, we'll wait. We'll announce it when we're ready. You're not going to pressure us. Which I respect, but at the same time, I want to know. I really want to know. They added on a 6th character that must be there for a reason. It also didn't help that a lot of people built up a narrative in their mind of what was going to be shown.
Yeah, just about
which happens a lot.
Everyone knew it was going to be Dante because they had an event talking about Devil May Cry on the same day.
Which Dante?
Devil May Cry Dante.
Actual Dante.
Dante.
Cool. Yeah, the real one. Because they were having a thing about like the old Devil May Cry games being released on Switch on the same day, so everyone's like, oh my god, it's gotta be. It wasn't.
Which is a shame. That's kind of a missed opportunity.
This happens every time.
Yeah.
People build up a narrative and it's not the character they want, then they get mad. And, like, I understand a lot of the outrage with, Byleth, because people are tired of Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of those people didn't...
there, unfortunately.
I also think a lot of those people didn't play Three Houses or any Fire Emblem games at all. And
On the one hand, I feel like they should maybe just retire permanently some of the Fire Emblem characters, like the ones.
I don't think Lucina and Chrom need to be there. If you take because Marth and Roy, that's fine. Those two are original.
I don't care if they're original. Who fucking knows what game they're from anymore?
Well, Marth is literally the original Fire Emblem main character. You cannot get rid of Marth.
If I actually played Fire Emblem, I would probably be a lot more enthusiastic about this, or even more moderate about it.
You'd feel something.
But,
yeah, I played a lot of Three Houses. I like Three Houses a lot.
Yeah, I've never played a Fire Emblem character, so this is just it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You're saying like, oh, they're original. They're like the original Fire Emblem character. That's not the same thing as saying like, oh, they can't get rid of Mario.
Marth and Roy are original in that they were both in Melee. They are,
and that's the other part of the problem because people won't fucking let go of Melee.
They won't. The whole thing with Smash Ultimate was everyone is here. They are trying to bring back every character.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Lucina needed to be in there. I think Lucina should have been a skin because she doesn't really change much from Marth.
Yeah, like that's. I think that's the downfall of Ultimate a little bit. Not really a downfall, but like a big demerit is everyone is here, so you can see all of the Fire Emblem characters and how fucking identical they are. It wasn't a good look for that series specifically.
Okay, I feel like that's not giving the characters that are different enough credit, though. Because out of the characters, yeah, Lucina, Chrom, Marth, Roy, they're very similar. Then you have Ike, who's very different. You have Corrin, who has a very, very different moveset. You have Robin, who's all magic and has a completely different moveset and represents a side of the series that was not represented. I think you could cut a lot of the other characters, but the kind of the newer ones, like it's just not a fair statement that they're all the same.
No, I'll give you that one. That's fair. They do have very different playstyles.
Yeah. You get Marth, you get Ike, and then you get like this would be the ideal. Would we get Marth, Ike, Robin, Corrin, Byleth. Each one would have a very different playstyle, very different moveset. It's fine. It's just the Marth clones got over like really out of hand.
So moving on, because we're almost an hour already, and I did have things to do after this. That's mostly my fault, actually, but you know.
That's it for me.
Oh, okay. Sisa, what's your week been like?
I really haven't done much of anything, honestly.
Your car broke.
Oh, right, yeah. The Midwest has been slammed by several bouts of freezing rain, so sometimes I had to get in on my passenger side door and shoulder check my own door open because it was covered in about a centimeter of solid thick ice.
Ooh.
The entire side of my car. And so, you know, with half the car being covered in ice, the weight distribution is pretty wonky. And so when I was driving, it was kind of rattling and vibrating a little bit. And I was concerned that it was throwing off my tire alignment, but that is not the case, thankfully. When the ice melted, it went back to normal.
Just ice in bad places, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. When it's like every square inch of the left side of my car was covered in some thickness of ice, usually a lot. And like once a year, that's fine. It's bearable, but it's like 3 days in a week and a half span that I came outside to my car being covered in a bunch of shit. So that wasn't fun, but it's dealt with. It's mostly melted now, and let's hope it doesn't do that again anytime soon. The girlfriend and I have also been watching You on Netflix.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure if anyone's seen that one.
I appreciate that. Thanks. I didn't even know it was on Netflix.
What?
I'm...
Thank you. Yeah. No. I'm not sure if any of you guys have actually seen that one.
I have not, and I have no plans to.
Fair. Yeah, it's about a stalker who falls in love very intensely. They kind of got a Ted Bundy thing going, except for he doesn't actually. Well, he does, but he doesn't set out to kill anyone. So it's pretty entertaining. We're on the second season now. I can't really think of anything to recommend the series aside from like the premise alone. Like it kind of sells itself. So if Ted Bundy, I can't speak, I'm congested. Interests you at all, check out You on Netflix.
Me.
Yes. Check out Casey on Netflix.
Sounds awful.
Thanks.
Yeah. Also,
In
Marvel
fairness,
Runaways.
I have been telling the shittiest jokes this episode, so it's fine. Sorry, what were you saying?
We've also been watching Marvel Runaways, which unfortunately I've heard is canceled after season 3. So there's only so much we can watch of that. I'm sure it's probably going to end on a cliffhanger because that's just what they do.
Probably they run away, I guess.
That happens at the end of season 1, actually.
Are they still running away?
Kind of.
It counts.
Yeah, it counts. I mean, it's kind of like to simplify it a lot, they're a lesser force fighting a greater evil that has all the power and all the control. So they have to do hit and run kind of stuff. So that the name comes from. Also, the comics that they're from.
Yeah, they were like, the parents were in a cult or something, I think, right?
Pride, who routinely sacrifice someone to revitalize what is implied to be some form of extraterrestrial person.
I know the comics one of the story already, or what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because the guy uses his powers and he turns into bacon. It's like a burn victim, essentially. His skin just kind of...
Oh, not actual bacon.
Yeah.
No.
I think all of the rest of us were just considering cannibalism for a second there.
Yeah, well, he looks really disturbing. So that's why they have to sacrifice someone to him, because he is casting from the hit points whenever he uses his alien abilities, basically.
Power sounds awesome, but also terrible at the same time. The power to bacon.
Yeah. That's the downside, though.
I don't know, man. It's got some sizzle to it.
Like, can I turn into bacon and, like, eat my fingernails and let them grow back and then turn back into humans? Like,
can we not?
You guys wouldn't laugh at my jokes. I don't appreciate that. That
I'm not
was really good.
This today. I'm not selling them today.
She's sold enough at the wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
Sold out.
It actually was. It was full.
Oh, well, that's actually really cool.
Nice.
But
sizzle. It's good.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it, Casey.
Still good.
I groaned. I gave the appropriate response.
Sorry, go on.
I think that's it. I haven't really played anything new. Nothing's really different at work. Yeah, but it. Things are going well.
Cool. Me.
Oh, I'm attempting to maybe start watching the Fate Go anime.
Okay, never mind.
But
not me.
I'm constantly running into the problem of where the fuck do I watch it?
Well, the Fate Go anime, I think, is just like one of like the last singularity, which is like the last main quest before like fighting the big bad. So it's probably not ideal. You'd be jumping in at the end of a story, essentially.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, a friend of mine I'm writing stuff with is really into MASH, so he wants me to watch that.
There is reason for that. She's adorable.
There's reason.
He's really big into Ava, and he likes Ray, and she's the local Ray, essentially. At least
kind of.
Yeah, I
I
can
don't
see that.
I don't know. I haven't seen the show, so I couldn't tell you. But
She has personality, which is more than Ray can say. So
yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Slicer.
Hmm.
So I finished the Witcher show.
Oh, cool. What? How do you like it?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think that's a good show, and I want to see the next season.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for a while, so
Mm-hmm.
put that hype on the back burner so it doesn't burn
Yeah,
out.
I explained like after you'd mentioned that it wasn't in chronological order, that it was all kind of out of sorts. I explained that to my dad, and we'd watched it all, and we'd kind of piece together which was where, and that really helped it a lot.
Yeah,
Of
it really
knowing that.
does. Even just a little timeline picture, it helps a lot.
Just like knowing, okay, they're not all in order, so we can actually just put this together ourselves without being caught by surprise. And yeah, it's very enjoyable.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
Bewitching, even.
Casey.
You don't laugh at my good jokes, you get all the bad jokes.
But the other jokes weren't good.
Ow! Oof.
You guys are mean today. I don't know what I did. We
now Casey's bacon.
We talked about fucking 90s shit. Why are you so
I'm
mean now?
Every day.
Oh man. I felt the heat from here.
Sorry for telling the truth, dude. I'll lie to you more.
Me. My turn. Yeah, same old. My teeth are mostly healed. Yay.
Sweet.
Getting the thing where bits of tooth just sort of poke through the gum and just go burp, and pop out.
That's fun.
It's like, meh. It's fine. You barely even feel it. Aside from, that. Finished the commission again. Yay. That finally got done. It got dark. So that was intentionally. It I've been, it's a commission, so I want to actually do actual work and story and planning and plotting and all that stuff for it. So 20,000 words building up to basically the scene at the end of it, at the current end of it, which was pretty dark.
Okay.
Mixed responses. Partially because it is a Fallout and Game of Thrones crossover, which that's some tone clashing there. Slapdash hijinks versus cold, uncaring fatalism of anyone and everyone dies for no reason, and your life sucks no matter what you do. Bit of a clash there.
And the commissioner specifically wanted that?
That's the thing. They've been very hands-off through this whole thing. Like, for the first two, I was like, okay, here is my outline for everything that's probably going to happen in this one. If there is anything you don't like about that, just let me know, and I'll fix it and change it, and we'll do something else. And they're like, aces. Go ahead with it. And I did, and they never really had any complaints or changes or anything they wanted doing with it, and I was like, okay, they're basically giving me free reign, so this time I'm going to do some stuff. And they continue to not have any complaint. Well, there was one thing that they really didn't like, but that was like an aside. It was let's say it was a kink that they did not have a preference for, and they asked me to remove it, and I was like, okay, fair enough, got rid of it. But aside from that, plot-wise, they seem to be into it, as far as I can tell. So, I mean, they've already expressed interest in continuing it, which is kind of a good sign as things go. If people are still willing to pay for it, that's probably a good sign that they like it. Right?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good indicator that you're doing well.
Yeah.
Continued business.
So, yeah. So I'm leaving that for a week, so I can take a break and look at other things and start doing other things that had to fall by the wayside while I was trying to wrap that up. Because, stupid fucking teeth getting in the way of everything for like 2 weeks. Goddamn pieces of shit. Just fall out of my mouth already. I'll have dentures. I don't fucking care.
I feel like that's a lot more upkeep than your teeth. Because that's daily upkeep. Instead of just like, hey, go brush your teeth.
Go, Casey. Live that stereotype.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't fucking care what I look like, so I could just not wear the dentures 90% of the time.
I suppose that's fair. Just
go around my flat, just gumming it up, motherfucker. Gum up the works.
Gonna buy you a blender for your birthday.
Blenders are pretty cool.
Puree that steak.
Zero. Was that the thing about the thing being smashing? Will it blend?
What?
The YouTube channel about the smashing that you were supposed to be
YouTube
looking
channel
at,
about the smashing?
Yeah. Will it blend? Was that the thing?
No, I don't think so. Let me look it up. I've been looking. I can't find it.
You liar.
It was... Oh, gosh. It might have been a section in something else. I don't know.
So yeah, that's pretty much all of my week, is just getting back to that and doing all of the goddamn time-consuming stuff that I do in the stupid gacha games, because, I'm a slave now to anime characters, basically. That's how that works.
Speaking of that, is it worth it to play the game just to get a handle on the story, or should I just look up a YouTube video or something?
Oh, I found it.
Okay.
I found what I was looking for.
What's it called?
You gonna share?
Yeah, it was so a long time ago, I used to watch this channel called Rich Alvarez, and they had this side show because they did this whole stupid Mario Brothers series, and they had this thing called Smashing Stuff. I found it now though. It's so old now, but yes, I found it. Gosh darn it.
Okay.
It's really hard to find a video called Smashing Stuff.
I'm kind of underwhelmed, to be perfectly honest. In any
Look,
case,
it's not about you, it's about me.
Shut up. Playing Fate Go is... It would be very time consuming. No matter what you did. It is... Zero, your thoughts?
There's no quick anything, it's just...
Most of the story of Fate Go up until London can be skipped. London is when story actually starts to really happen. And then it's just... Yeah. The first couple singularities, I really don't have anything.
If you want, I could basically spoil everything up to Babylonia and just fucking... You can go ahead and watch the anime from there. If you like. I can do that in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it.
Alright, cool. We'll do that after the episode. Yeah. Anything else? Any recommendations?
I got nothing.
Zero, do you actually recommend this channel? Or is it just internet apocrypha that you don't really want to think about anymore?
It's something that I used to watch. I met the guys who ran the channel in person at a con. They're very nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. I was expecting it to be Never Meet Your Heroes. I didn't expect them to be actually...
They were very nice. They were very happy that, people remembered them. They're kind of no longer relevant because their show that they had gotten any sort of internet fame for had ended.
Oh, I see.
And they're like, "Hey, how do you like our new show?" And it was kind of that awkward of well, I fell off of it. I like the old show though, that sort of thing.
Oh,
I think I showed up in one of their videos about one of the cons with my brother and his friend.
Oh.
They cut what I said though. They only had his line.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, who would want you on the show? That's
I know, crazy, right? But like, I think my brother got a poster of them, and then was like, "No, it's creepy," and then he shoved it into the into his closet.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm kind of happy that we aren't successful, because if we were successful, we would be that kind of successful.
Mm-hmm.
Where you just kind of feel bad about it after the fact.
So,
what, like you tricked people into liking you?
I would not recommend the channel because the stuff that was on it was good for its time. It will not have aged well at all.
Oh.
Okay. So I guess that does it for the episode of the podcast. Is episode 2. If you'd like to,
Close enough.
Yeah, sure. It's a couple hundred off. It's fine. It's change. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel, the comments, or through the public Discord link in the description. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mean me? I mean, I could.
Just do it.
But
I'm talking to whoever is in earshot. Just do it.
Obey Kenshi.
Do it.
Do it. Okay, Ken's not going to meet me halfway on doing the fucking Black Eyed Peas. All right. Once again, thanks for listening and stuff. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
I didn't know what you were talking about, dude.